The following is a presentation from PokerStars.com. Last night on the big game, the action started out fast when Daniel, Doyle, and Barry went to 5th Street. Barry rivered a flush.
Call it.
Okay.
Doyle had trips.
I call it.
And Barry doubled up early. But when Barry's victims squared off, Doyle had the bullets.
So he's got enough for one bet.
The only thing I can do to be bad is fold, get bluffed, feel stupid. So I'll just call it. Oh, that's good.
Meanwhile, the loose cannon raked in some nice pots.
Too much?
Well, I had absolutely nothing, so.
Surrounded by pros, will Russ's good run continue? Find out tonight on the big game.
This is the PokerStars.com Big Game.
Welcome back to Las Vegas, home of the big game. Alongside Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose, and tonight there's more than $1.1 million in cash on the table as play continues in our state-of-the-art poker room.
Everyone's favorite Canadian, Daniel Negreanu, has been getting sapped like a maple tree. He's down over $200,000.
Folks, this is Barry Greenstein in a great mood. And he should be. He's making all the right moves, up over 174 grand.
25-year-old Justin Bonomo is having another breakout performance as he continues his big game winning streak. He's up $121,000.
While Dutch sensation Lex Veldhuis has kept his spirits up, but his profits down, he's stuck over 97K.
And this is our loose cannon, Russell Harlow. Russ is the first ever returning loose cannon. He's back risking his previous week's profits for another shot to play 150 hands against the best of the best. And so far, so good, he's up over 18 grand.
Our final player is the living legend of poker, Doyle Brunson. The two-time world champion is with Amanda Leatherman.
Doyle, there's been tons of fireworks out there this week already, and you've been involved. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, that's an action bunch of guys over there. Everybody, I think, has been all in, except Russ.
What do you think of Loose Cannon's play so far?
The thing I noticed most about the loose cannons is the way they handle their chips. And, you know, he's been at the tables a lot.
Do you think we're going to see some more fireworks tonight?
I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks because I think everybody there is ready to gamble.
All right, Doyle. Thank you so much.
All right.
Good luck.
Once again, each cannon's been staked 100 grand, and in Russell's case, his previous week's winnings as well. Cannons keep all winnings above the initial 100K, and the loose cannon who's won the most money at season's end earns a North American Poker Tour passport worth $50,000.
And right now, the cannon to beat is Nadia Magnus. She set the bar high at over $63,000. Russell's risked his own profits to take a shot at passing her this week. We'll see if he can do it.
It is quite a risk for the father of three from Connecticut. We'll see how he does this week. Action on Doyle as we kick it off with hand 31 out of 150.
3 million to 1.
Sounds like Doyle's taking odds on something.
6 high. Folds. Lex. 4 high. He's out. 9-5 suited for Justin. Raised to 1,400. Barry folds. Daniel's out. Big slick for the cannon.
Russ is out of position, but way ahead of Justin's range.
I just want Lex's money, not yours. Does that not work this time? You have to go home too, kid. You have to make it there.
Justin won a 6-figure pot against Lex last night.
Raise the pot.
So that's what they're talking about. Russ raises to 5,000.
Justin knows he's probably not ahead in this spot, but he also knows Russ is the weak spot at the table, and he can probably use his position to outplay him on a lot of flops.
Bonomo calls. The flop, Trey 7-6. Bonomo has a flush draw and a double gutter, but Russ still best.
This is Russ's worst nightmare. He got called and then missed wide right.
Russ bets 7,000.
Russ's continuation bet is the right idea, but Bonomo has flopped huge. Even though Russ is ahead, Justin's got a ton of equity. I don't see him folding.
He just calls.
Loose cannon in action.
The turn, The deuce of diamonds giving Bonomo a flush, and the cannon now has the nut flush draw.
That's why this is such a great card for Justin. It makes his hand and gives Russ a big draw. Without knowing Justin made his flush, it's actually a good board for Russ to keep firing.
We could see some serious fireworks.
A lot of the time, ace-king will be good, and he could just semi-bluff with the ace of diamonds.
He bets 15,000.
Justin may be thinking of a value raise. Russ has taken a pretty strong line here and may fold to a raise, but Justin actually wants Russ to be in there with a naked ace of diamonds.
All the money. Big pot.
Bonomo raises the cannon all in.
Justin has overbet the heck out of this with a little more than a pot-sized raise. I think it would be a pretty loose call for Russ to make with only ace high. He hasn't made a lot of loose calls in the over 150 hands we've seen him play. We've seen him be aggressive, but we haven't seen him call off a lot on big draws.
Russ Harlow turned a profit last week. He decided to come back to try and increase it and perhaps win that NAPT passport. Now he's faced with the biggest decision of his poker life.
Russ just might be thinking to himself that he should have taken his 16,000 and gone home last week.
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go broke or not.
He's not, especially not in this spot. In order to be able to make this call, Russ would have to think he's going to have the best hand most of the time. And in this situation, he's probably going to be second best most of the time.
There goes Daniel.
This is such a... Like, the most interesting thing about this spot is that everyone at the table wants him to fold. Because it's best for us if he's at like 80 or 90,000. If he calls and wins, then he's going to play tight. If he calls and loses, well, then he's gone. So that's bad for us. But see, the other thing...
him to fold?
Yeah, if I want him to fold. But the other thing, too, is like, when he's out of position against a good player, they're going to do this to him a lot. So he shouldn't have probably bet 15,000 if he's not going to call right away. He should have just checked then.
What do you think he's going to do?
I think he's going to... I don't think he should, but I think he's going to... I want him to fold, and I think that's what he's going to do.
Sorry, guys.
I just think in this hand, when you re-raise out of position like that, you put yourself in a bad spot.
Right. Well, let's see what he does.
Yeah.
If I was better, maybe it would be a snap call. I don't know.
After Russ deliberated for more than half a second, Justin wanted him to call.
4 or 5 of diamonds? That's just gross, right?
You're in the right diamond district.
Definitely not ahead.
Russ would do well to follow his instincts here.
Russ lays it down.
Nice hand.
Yeah, like a big pair and a diamond or something?
What did it look like?
That's what it felt like. Big pair and a diamond.
No pair and a diamond.
No pair. Oh, yeah, the ace of diamonds?
Yeah.
And just like that, the cannon's now down almost 9 grand.
Could you feel the love, Justin?
Yeah, there's...
Everybody-
Actually, I think everyone's rooting for him to fold.
Everybody was pulling for you?
I think I was just rooting for you to fold.
Really? Well, I thought he had a big pair. I was rooting for him to call.
Why? Why would you want him to call?
Because I thought that was good.
You think... Yeah, but why would you want him to call? Like, because then...
I thought he had 2 aces with the ace of diamond.
That one I think I could have gone broke with.
Yeah, he's got to call with that hand.
As we all exhale, here are the rules of the big game. Each week of play lasts exactly 150 hands. The action pre-flop is pot limit, then no limit after the flop. Blinds are 2 and 400 with a $100 ante, all of which is paid by the player on the button. Every player begins with at least 100 grand, but can reload for up to $500,000.
Whew, Chris, I'm just trying to catch my breath after the first hand of the night.
Listen, son, breathe through your eyelids. You'll be fine.
I have no idea what that means.
I don't know.
I don't ever have a clue anyway.
I never make a hand anyhow.
Oh, no, you're starting to sound like one of us.
Lex raises.
Oh, you're poisoned.
Oh, no.
Here comes the early moans.
Well, I never
Stay
make a hand
pure,
anyway. Here he
please.
comes.
There's no way I wanted to rabbit hunt that either.
Oh, yeah, that's what we should have done. Give you a reason to cry.
No, no, no.
No preemptive crying.
Ace tray suited for Doyle.
What'd you have?
You reload there?
I have 100, whatever. Little under, a little over. It's not going to be much.
Doyle calls.
Doyle's made a pretty standard defend, and he's ahead.
The flop, 8-8 jack, 2 hearts, giving Lex a straight flush draw. Brunson checks over to Lex. Fires 2,200.
Doyle is ahead.
I got the same hand every deal.
One against
Yes,
you,
sir.
maybe?
Wow.
Doyle folds. So Lex scoops up a little pot there with his straight flush draw.
Lex hails from Amsterdam, but the online railbirds know him as Rozzy from the internets. He's ultra aggressive, and though he's down 95K, you'd never know it from the fact that he's always grinning. Must be from that Amsterdam air.
Action begins to Lex's left with Justin Bonomo,
Oh, it's early in the
who
week.
folds. Barry,
Lots more hands left.
Oot. Ace-6 suited for Daniel, raised to 1,200. Jack-10 for the cannon.
All right.
Calls.
Let's get it in.
Doyle
I'm
calls.
the guy you should get it in with because I will get it in just for fun.
Lex in
If you
two.
tell me I got 45%, I'm good.
Can I get it in?
Everybody's stuck now, aren't they? How is that possible?
4 to the flop. Deuce-6 Jack. Harlow flops top pair. Doyle checks. Lex checks. Daniel with middle pair. Fires 3,500.
Russ has the best hand, and he might be thinking raise to try to protect that jack, but if you raise, you open yourself up to being 3-bet by a draw. A raise always looks scarier on a dry board.
Daniel keeping his eye on the cannon, who's got chips in hand, and raises to 11,000. That gets Doyle and Lex out simultaneously.
Russ has succeeded in thinning the field a bit. We've seen Daniel call before with a small piece of the flop. So if he hasn't folded yet, he might think Russ is semi-bluffing, or he could attempt a float to take it away on a later street.
11's the total, right?
Daniel calls.
I think Russ would have preferred to take it down right there.
The turn, the 8 of hearts. Daniel checks.
This is no help to either player. Has to look like a pretty safe card to Russ.
But he doesn't bet, he checks. The river, the 5 of spades.
Russ has got this hand locked up. He can only lose if he somehow folds. But if Daniel checks again, this would be a slam dunk value bet. Actually, maybe Daniel's the one cooking up a value bet.
In 2 of the last 3 hands, our amateur, Russ Harlow, has been staring down 2 of the world's best. First, Justin Bonomo, now mixed up in a hand with Daniel Negreanu.
It's either a sweet dream or a beautiful nightmare.
21,000.
Daniel bets 21,000.
Scratch that. This isn't a value bet. It's a bluff. I don't think Daniel thinks Russ has a hand good enough to make this call, so he's not making it for value. I don't think he wants a call here. If Daniel wanted a call, he would have bet less. Maybe Russ will pick up on this same thing and be able to make the call.
Russ calls.
I think you're probably going to win.
I got a jack.
Yeah, that wins. That's what I thought you had. Oh, well. Give me 4 back.
Well, I can't check the turn and not call that bet.
Good day today.
Yeah, so far so good.
Russ wins a pot of nearly 70 grand and is now back in the black, up 26,000.
So you had a jack or like 2 9s? Something like
The
that.
big game is just heating up. More from Las Vegas coming your way after this. Welcome back to Las Vegas and the big game, where Daniel Negreanu is now down over $235,000.
And that'll happen when you never win a showdown. Daniel is hanging the bagel in that category, and he's tied with the other big losing player at the table, Lex Veldhuis, who's also in at 0.0. While our loose cannon and Bonomo have always had the goods when they've turned their hands over, their showdown win rate is 100%.
Barry Greenstein wins at showdown 2/3 of the time. Let's
You
see
have
if
it
he's going to
already.
get a chance this
Oh, did you
hand.
finish it?
The answer in a word, not so much. Daniel with 10-9 suited, raises to 1,200.
Who lost the last one?
Me, that'd be me. Steaming.
Boom.
The cannon's
Get
starting to act like a pro. He's needling and calling. Doyle calls. Ace queen for Lex.
Such a good spot.
Oh, him again, him and his spots again.
Except you have to act first.
Oh, yeah.
Lex repops to 7,000.
Lex is in a good spot with the best hand.
Justin folds. Daniel calls. Russ folds.
I'm sure Lex would be pretty happy to play this pot heads up.
I remember writing about this one time, so I guess I'll have
What'd you
throw it
say?
away.
Heads up.
I remember writing about that hand one time.
Doyle's actually played so much poker in his life that he's encountered every possible scenario.
4-10-4, Daniel with top pair.
This looks like a pretty safe flop for Lex to continue, but we know Daniel's got the best hand.
I love the 6 spot speech. That was the best part of this hand. It's fun. 11. Huh?
That's a good level, huh?
It was good. 6 spot. Boom, raise, da-da-da.
I hope it works.
A level is a ruse or a mind game. Daniel's intimating that Lex was purposely overselling his hand.
Well, Daniel calls.
I didn't see Daniel calling pre-flop with 10-9 and then folding top pair. No way, no how.
The turn. 6 of clubs gives Daniel a flush draw.
This has made it even less likely that Lex will be able to get Daniel to fold.
Veldhuis checks to Daniel.
My guess is Daniel likes his hand right now. Let's see if he likes it enough to fire and try to take it down.
Nope. Oh, it's a two-handed check. 9 of diamonds on the river.
Daniel's checked for pot control in case he misses or hates the river. He doesn't hate this river. Lex has the choice to either give up or try to figure out what he'd have to do to get Daniel off his hand.
I'm all in.
So you're saying I made a good check on the turn? Is that what you're claiming?
Lex is all in.
Such level. I mean, you know more about my game than anyone, so.
Daniel and Lex play a lot of poker together, and they talk about it even more. Right now, what Lex is doing is trying to make Daniel think he was trying to check raise the turn and rep an overpair.
It's a weird river card for me. You wouldn't do that with ace-10, would you? Actually, you might. I don't know. Is that enough to make the difference for me? I would have felt better if I just bet the turn, you raised, and then I called. That would have been more fun.
Since the board is paired, Daniel's hand would be no good to an overpair. That 9 doesn't really mean much. Daniel already had 2 pair. The only hand he's beating now that he wasn't before is a bigger 10.
All right, so you raised. Said 6 spot.
Looks like the mind games might be working against Daniel.
Patented overbet.
Daniel trying to break Lex in the cross-examination.
You put me on a 10, probably. Figure I'm gonna throw it away.
Daniel's probably thinking if he calls and loses, he's going to be stuck over 300 grand.
Well, you played it good. Whatever you got.
We know Daniel's got the winning hand, but does he?
Fire on the river. Are you hoping that I'm going to play good here? I'm so confused. I like Lex, too. I can give him money. It's 84.9, right?
Daniel calls, and for a change, sees some good news at Showdown.
Superman Daniel made the hero call, and there's a very unhappy Lex Luthor.
Well, if I was digging into my pocket, all I'd bring out was a quarter and an old grocery list. Lex rebuys for another 100 grand. He's stuck 200,000. In the meantime, Daniel stacks up his chips. He wins a pot worth 210 grand. Can he continue on the comeback trail? Find out when we return on the Big Game. To see all the stats from this game, unaired hands, and material deemed too hot for TV, visit us online. Unfortunately for Lex Veldhuis, we just saw his all-in bluff get picked off by Daniel. What made Daniel think he was good? Let's find out as we go behind the poker face.
Anytime I'm in a game with Lex, it's really just kind of difficult for me because he's actually one of the guys that's helped me become better as a player, and we talk strategy all the time. So we're always thinking on another level. So I raised with 9-10 of clubs, and a couple people called, and he decided to re-raise. And when he did, I didn't really feel like he had aces or kings. It felt like, you know, something maybe good, but maybe ace-queen suited, ace-king suited, something like that. So I was in position, I called with 9-10 of clubs, and everybody else folded. Now the flop came down 10-4-4, and he bet the flop. So I flop top pair, I'm gonna call, but I'm still worried here because he could have something really big, he could have an overpair. So I just call and see what he does in the turn. Well, the turn card comes a club. So now I've got top pair and a flush draw, and Lex checks. And I know Lex is tricky enough that if he had aces or kings, you know, he might check here hoping that I go for a bluff and check raise me. I don't want to bet because if I do, I have to call because I got the flush draw. So I decided, you know what, I'll take a free card for myself. I check. The river card's a 9, which makes me 10s and 9s, but with 2 4s out there, that shouldn't really matter because if he has aces or kings, he's still got me beat. So there's like 40,000 in the pot, and now he bets all of it, you know, like 85,000 or so. And we've talked so much about that kind of a bet, the way big overbet. And usually it's a spot where you have it and you're trying to level somebody into thinking that you're not. And I just had to go through like the history of what we've talked about, you know, because we're always chit-chatting about poker hands and stuff like that. So this is a spot where it really didn't make sense. So I'm wondering, well, is he doing that to fool me into thinking that I should fold or call? So I was just really confused by it for a bit, but then I thought more and more about what we talk about in those spots and when it makes sense. And I think that if he really did have the hand there, he was more likely to bet something like 33,000, 35,000 to look to get called by a 10. But the overbet was designed in a sense to look like a bluff, and he was hoping that I would think that he's trying to make it look like a bluff and have the nuts and fold, but I guess I thought on one more level thinking, no, he's just trying to fool me. And really, when I play with Lex, every hand we play is gonna be like that, where it's just gonna be weird and awkward, and you're watching at home on TV, you're gonna think, what in the world is going on here?
Lex tried to bluff Daniel with ace high, knowing Daniel knows Lex knows Daniel likes to make tough calls, thinking Daniel would then not make the tough call, but Daniel knew all that and called anyway.
I think Daniel just raised.
What's confusing about that?
Nothing. The cannon folds. Pocket pair for Doyle as well. He calls. Lex is in. Justin and Barry out.
Even with three-way action, Doyle's got by far the best of it.
Deuce 8 Jack.
Check.
Daniel checks.
Yes.
Lex bets 3,300 with bottom pair.
Come on, check raise.
He wants it. He wants the pain.
Let's get it in.
These two have more levels than Donkey Kong.
Daniel folds. So does Doyle.
Sure, it works for the small pot.
Spade draw.
What did you show, a deuce?
Deuce of spades.
Oh, I had the best hand by far.
No, you did.
Oh, you had 7s? I had 2 5s.
This is fun.
You having fun now? Now that your nose is open?
I think you've won more pots than me this session.
That's a nice little needle.
No, it's all right.
The gloves are officially off.
I can handle it.
Justin Bonomo's come alive to needle Lex, but he is factually correct. Lex has won over twice as many pots as Bonomo, who's in second place, and exactly as many pots as the rest of the table combined. Sadly for Lex, he's winning the small pots and losing the big ones.
If I didn't like the pain, I wouldn't have showed up here. Believe me.
That's the desire of all of us inside, the pain.
It's true. Sick, but true. You love it too. You came back for another week.
You're right. I'm not going to
deny it. He came back for another week
it.
of this pain. He
Gambling
could have
is
just took
only fun when it
16,000,
is.
been on an island. Now he's stuck again going, what the heck did I do?
Why did I go? Somebody in
nice-
the green room sitting, oh my God.
Nice vacation.
Let's see what kind of trip Daniel takes these ladies on. He just calls.
Daniel just called with kings yesterday, and it didn't work out too well for him.
Russ Harlow calls to make it a 3-person party to the flop. 5-3-8, all diamonds. The cannon flops a flush.
Daniel is in trouble this hand as well.
Daniel checks. Russ slow plays it, checks.
Russ is checked to the original razor
Bonomo fires 4,000.
with no piece. Russ checked and Justin bet his position, so Daniel probably doesn't hate his hand.
In fact, he calls.
Russ deciding now if he wants to try to continue to slow play or try to extract some value here.
The cannon with the min raise.
Russ's min raise should be setting off all kinds of alarms.
Bonomo folds, and Daniel insta-calls. The turn, the 3 of spades. Daniel checks.
That's a good card for Daniel. He can at least win the hand now if he hits the last queen or 3. Russ would be wise to bet again and charge Daniel to draw to a bigger diamond if he had one.
He does, betting 13,000.
Daniel's alarm must be on snooze. He still doesn't seem too afraid of this board.
He calls.
Russ is probably okay with the call, but I'm sure he doesn't want to see another diamond.
But there it is, the 4 of diamonds.
That card's going to take the wind out of Russ's sails just a little bit. And Daniel's reaching for chips. Russ must be sick about the prospect of facing a bet with a 4 flush out there.
I'm at 32.
Now here it comes. Daniel bets 32,000.
I would say raising definitely isn't an option. No worse hand will ever call you.
Call.
I think you win again.
Harlow shows some nerve and picks up another monster pot.
I just keep sending the bluffs off.
Russ makes the right call against Daniel again and seems like he just might have his number tonight.
The loose cannon increases his profits while Daniel tries to shake that play off. We're coming right back with more of the big game. Don't go away. Welcome back to the big game in Las Vegas. And Joe, we have some very exciting news.
Our first returning loose cannon has just surpassed our leading loose cannon, Nadia Magnus. And if Russ can maintain his lead at the end of his 150-hand session, he'll be poised to win that NAPT passport.
That's why, in part, our delivery truck driver came back this week. Now let's see how he plays with more than 100 hands to go. Action begins on Lex. Folds. Justin. Ace Trey. He's out. So's Barry. Pocket kings for Daniel.
Daniel's 0 with big pocket pairs this week. Let's see how he fares this time.
Raises to 1,200. The cannon folds. Doyle, ace Trey, calls from the big blind.
The fact that Daniel's raise this time should help his chances a bit.
7, ace 7. Doyle flops top pair and checks. Daniel checks as well. 3 of spades on the turn. Brunson checks again. Daniel checks.
Daniel really doesn't like that ace.
Jack of hearts on the river. Doyle bets 2,200.
Daniel pretty much has to call.
Which he does.
That's 3 in a row. No good kings, no good kings, no good queens.
Barry beat Daniel's kings last night.
Looks like Daniel's hands are cold in more ways than one.
Meanwhile, Doyle's still a force in this game at 77. He sees it changing and isn't necessarily crazy about it.
I think the old way is definitely going away. I think that all these younger players, they incorporate the math into the poker too much, in my opinion. I don't think that they put enough emphasis on reading the other player and getting inside his head. I think it's a changing thing, I really do. I definitely miss the old-time players, Chip Reeses, the Stu Ungers, the Johnny Mosses, the Jack Strausses, Sailor Roberts, and so forth. It was a different breed of person back then. We kind of played a lot differently. We played for a living. We didn't have much bankroll management back in those days. We just sat down and played because the games weren't that plentiful. We had to play because there might not be another one for a while. It's not like today where they can walk into a protected environment. You know, you don't have to worry about any of the things that we had to worry back in the old days when we were traveling around the country playing. And it's a different way of life, for sure, but it was enjoyable back in the old days, and it still is.
Doyle and the gang used to travel around the country to play poker, and now most people travel no further than the nearest power outlet.
I don't want no more big pairs. They're just crushing
I'll take
me.
a couple.
That's what you get. Tell me I had them all the time. Now you're getting them.
I've had kings, kings, and queens. I didn't win any of them.
Is he steaming?
On the official steaming scale, I'd only rank Daniel at 2.5 Helmuths.
Does that mean he'll start complaining soon, or what?
He's at least 5 Helmuths away from that.
Daniel looking at 8-7 and folding. The cannon's out. Doyle Queen 10 suited. Raise. Lex folds. Bonomo, ace queen.
Doyle doesn't get us out of line in position as the rest of these guys, but Justin's still ahead of his range.
Raise.
Bonomo repops. Barry folds his sixes without even giving it a second thought. And Doyle just quickly calls.
Barry knows he's worse than racing, and Doyle's suited and in position. He doesn't know he's dominated.
Trey 10-7, top pair for Doyle. Action on Bonomo, who bets 7,000.
Justin c-betting into the man with top pair.
Doyle calls. The turn, the 4 of clubs, giving Bonomo a flush draw.
If Justin wants to continue to be the pretender, he can semi-bluff. I still think he's unlikely to get Doyle off top pair.
Bonomo bets 18 grand.
What crazy action game, huh?
It's crazy.
More big pots than all the games I played before.
This is Daniel's 5th appearance on the big game.
Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
Big gulp from Justin.
Doyle calls.
Double gulp.
The big gulp. 10 of hearts on the river, giving Doyle trip 10s.
If Justin was trying to get Doyle to fold a 10, he probably knows it's time to let it die.
Bonomo does check.
Gonna be tough for Doyle to figure out the perfect size value bet without using any math.
Doyle bets 38,000.
Ace high, no good.
And Bonomo folds. Doyle, I know you're not a huge fan of the math, but you did pick up another $31,000 in profits on this hand from a young gun. Will Doyle provide any other poker lessons? Class continues when we come back on the big game. Welcome back to the big game, and time to check in on the standings. Our loose cannon Russ Harlow's up over 81 grand.
Ultra Rocky Barry Greenstein is leading the way, while the hyper-aggressive Lex Veldhuis is stuck almost $200,000.
What do the stats say, Joe?
Well, a third of the way through our 150-hand session, VPIP says Lex is playing over half the hands. He's not running well, and his bluffs aren't working. Well, on the other side of the coin, Barry's played a mere 15% of the pots, but he's won when it's mattered most, and while Barry loves all of his stats equally, that might just be the stat that Barry cares about the most.
Barry's in the small blind this hand. That means that Russ is UTG in suited connectors. Raises to 1,500. Doyle folds. Jack 5 for Lex. Over the top to 5,300.
This will be Lex's third attempt to isolate a loose cannon raise.
Action folds back on over to the cannon.
Let's go.
It's the second time it's worked.
Making a run for it.
Justin's out of here.
If I could run like that, I'd go with him.
Just for fun, too?
Yeah,
Just think, he used to run twice as fast as that.
Yeah, I know. Well, I went faster than most people the first 20, so I'll go slower the last 20.
Doyle held the Texas State mile record at 4:43 as a teen. Harlow calls.
Oh, you're really good at running, right?
I was, yeah.
Comes in handy when you're trying to outrun police and people looking to knock over your poker game.
The flop, Jack ace ace. Harlow checks. Lex checks bottom pair. 9 of hearts on the turn. A gut shot for Russ. And checks.
Russ has played this passively. Might be time for Lex to fire.
He does, 6,200.
Come on.
Russ folds, and Lex picks up the pot.
Snap you off.
You show Queen of Hearts?
Jack.
It's times like these you subtly offer up some Purell.
We're now entering the era of the straddles.
Straddles.
First one is complimentary, the next one has to be a round.
Fair enough.
I'm lying. I'll keep doing it, but so sick doing. You all know it. You're just all yeah, right. Fish from Amsterdam.
Amsterdam is actually quite famous for its seafood.
Lex straddles, so Bonomo first to go. King Jack. Raises to 2,600. Barry folds. Daniel out. The cannon folds. So does Doyle. But Lex calls.
I think that sigh might be a tell.
So sick. And then first I give the speech that I'm gonna get through a show. Plus, then I get stacked. And then the first time I straddle, I'm gonna get annihilated.
Lex checks his flush draw.
Justin's got the best hand.
And fires 4,500.
Standard continuation bet. After all that chatter, Lex isn't going to fold his flush draw. Let's see if he decides to play it fast.
He does, raising to 12,000.
Lex might have a hard time giving Justin credit for flop trips, especially when he has so many outs if he's wrong. In this spot, Lex has just polarized his hand to an ace or nothing, so Justin might figure he's either slightly ahead or drawing dead.
Bonomo calls.
Justin wants to reevaluate on the turn.
Which is the Jack of Spades, second pair for Bonomo.
Justin has jumped ahead, but Lex picked up a few more outs.
10 would give him a straight. Action on Lex. Makes it 23,600 to go.
Lex is continuing to keep the pressure on. We'll have to see if Justin sticks around now that he's improved.
Bonomo does stick around. He calls.
We just showed you how active Lex has been at this table. Justin for sure knows this, and that might make him like his hand a little bit more in this spot.
The river's the 9 of clubs.
Lex's only shot is to bluff at it. Let's see if he can fire the third barrel.
He can't. He checks.
Justin has the best hand, but he'll never get called by worse.
Justin checks.
Board.
Bonomo shows the winner, adds more cash to the kitty. He now has almost 150 grand in profits.
Good job.
No wonder Lex didn't want Justin sitting to his left.
After this show airs, you should win like every single tournament.
Lex looks wounded.
Nobody ever folds to you.
And Daniel adds a little salt. We'll see if Lex can make a comeback when we come back. Welcome back to the big game, and now it's time for a little feature we call Couch Cannon. This is the hand where we only get to see the cards the loose cannon is holding. You folks at home get to play along from his point of view.
I actually get really nervous during this, Chris.
Don't worry, Daniel's son, we'll be fine.
I feel like we're playing with our own money.
Well, we're actually playing with Russ's, but it's not Team Russ, it's Team Us, and we're looking at jacks and raising to 1,500.
I'm okay with it so far.
Got Doyle out. Lex calls. Uh-oh.
Hate it.
Bonomo. All right, he's in.
We have to assume everyone's ranges are pretty wide because they want to come after us.
Makes sense. The flop, deuce 5 queen. Flush draw for us.
Not a very good one.
Lex fires 4,500.
Lex just let out of position.
Bonomo calls.
And Justin just called while out of position to us. Honestly, I hate our hand, and I think we should fold.
Dude, we've got a flush draw, and remember, we're playing against Lex. He's the one that let out.
Yeah, but Lex led into 2 people, and we raised pre-flop, and Justin just called. Typically, you need a stronger hand to call than you do to bet, so I'm worried about Justin's hand as well. Plus, I'm afraid there's a bigger flush draw out there.
That away, Russ. We called. We're still in.
Call's not the worst thing ever, but we don't want to see another bet here for sure.
It's the 8 of diamonds on the turn. That's okay for us, right?
Not so bad.
Action's on Lex. Don't do that.
17.
Nah. He bet 17,000. That got Bonomo to fold, so now we're down to heads up.
Lex just led into 2 people on 2 streets. I really want to fold now. Might as well call us Bessie because I think we're getting milked, Chris.
No. I feel good. That's right. That's right, Russ. Put us in. We're still playing.
Just giving our money away, Rose.
No. I feel good. It's against Lex.
If Lex bets again, I would assume he's got a really big hand here.
Then we'd be in trouble. All right, it's a 10 of spades.
Not that scary of a card, and it doesn't complete any realistic draws. We'll have to see what Lex does, but I want to see a showdown for free here. I don't think we're going to get so lucky.
Uh-oh, he's smiling. What does that mean?
Means I think we're about to not like what Lex is going to do.
As long as he doesn't give me one of those Veldhuisian stares. I fired 28 grand.
I wanted to fold this hand on the flop just so we wouldn't be in this position, Chris.
Hey, listen, don't yell at me.
Look where we are now.
Well, so what do we do? I mean, it's Lex. We could call, and he could say bored.
I really don't think that's very likely at this point, but it is Lex, and he is a maniac.
I want to call you so bad.
Me too, Russ. Me too.
I do.
Don't do it.
Do it.
What do you have? Queen 9?
Oh, I need a queen to win?
No.
I'm not really sure what that means, but other than the fact that I don't love this board, Lex has taken a very strong line, and we also have to note that our image, which is Russ's image, is that we've been making a lot of tough, good calls. We've picked off a bunch of Daniel's bluffs. Maybe Lex has been paying attention to that.
You should just fold. You have your profits.
If we fold right now, we still would be up over 54 grand.
Not even thinking about that.
The fact that Lex is trying to get us to fold makes me think that we actually should fold.
Your reputation precedes you.
What?
His reputation.
His reputation, then you should just insta-call based on
know.
his reputation.
We folded. Let's take a look. I think we had him beat. I think we had him.
Not a chance. That's a set of fives, my friend. No good. Our hearts were live, though.
Oops. My bad.
I play like a nit, though.
Yeah, but I think that's what he wanted me to do.
Oh, you think he was doing reverse? Like, ooh, I'm bluffing, but I'm not?
I don't do that. I just always bluff.
Even that statement was a bluff.
So Lex got us. Let's check out the cash board and see where Lex stands.
It's all the way at the bottom, Chris. He's got some company, though. Daniel Negreanu is also getting crushed.
Barry Greenstein and Justin Bonomo continue to thrive, while our loose cannon's second week playing here on the big game shows great promise so far.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. Russ, tough last hand, but you're still hanging in.
It's going to be all right.
Yeah.
You could have called. It would have been tougher.
Still a lot of game to play.
Justin, you're killing the big game again.
Yeah, I'm doing well. This game's playing crazy, though. I could easily lose it all back before hand 150.
All right, guys, that's it for tonight. I'm Amanda Leatherman saying goodbye for now. And remember, if you've got the cash and the guts, there's always a seat open at the big game. Good night, everybody.
For Joe Stapleton, I'm Chris Rose. See you tomorrow night.
I feel pretty relaxed, actually.
No, you look relaxed.
Doesn't he? He never looks like upset or like tilted ever.
I've always gotten that from watching. I was just like, wow, that guy is just cool.
That one?
Yeah,
Lex.
You've watched everything, huh?
The preceding was a presentation from PokerStars.com.